Nippon Hoso Podcast Station.
Today we are continuing with Yuri on Ice. This is the last episode where we are featuring Yuri on Ice. Today's line is, it's actually from Victor. ビクトルのラインですね。他人のモチベーションを上げられない人間が自分のモチベーションを上げられるのかい？ So in English, if you don't have the strength to motivate someone who looks up to you, how can you find the strength to motivate yourself? ハラハラ系を楽しむ方法としては、私は最終話を最初に見ちゃうんですよ。ちょっとなんかグフって感じ。なんかもうほんとグフ。ちょっと目の前に可愛い女の子のフィギュアとかアクスタを立ててみてください。その時にグフみたいな感じになった時のグフ。もう皆さんできてるはずです、グフは。だからそこからはもうあとは舌を噛むだけ。Anime English Club with Sally Amaki.Hello everyone and welcome to episode 38 of the Anime English Club. I'm your host, Sally Amaki. 今週もよろしくお願いします。We've got mail yet again. ありがとうございます。ラジオネーム、いいよさんからいただきました。ありがとうございます。天木さん、こんにちは。こんにちは。私はこれまでアニメをあまり見たことがなかったのですが、このラジオをきっかけで、配給や呪術廻戦、ウィッチウォッチなどを見始め、今ではすっかりアニメにハマってしまいました。そしていろいろな作品を見ていくうちに、自分は手に汗握るハラハラ系よりも、キャラクターに癒されてクスッと笑えるほのぼの系のアニメの方が好きになりやすいということに気づきました。天木さんにも気づいたらこういうアニメを好きになっているなというご自身の傾向はありますか？最後にいつも天木さんの声とお話に癒されています。これからも応援しています。ありがとうございます。いや、これ、思うんですけど、いいよさん疲れてるんだと思います。私、昔はハラハラ系大好きだったんですよ。でも思い返してみると、結構その時って人生平凡だった気がするんです。なんか特に、めっちゃなんかドラマチックな何かがあったりとか、めっちゃ落ち込むことがあったりとかなく、ほんと平凡。なんか自分が平凡な時にハラハラ系を求めて、で逆にこの職業を始めて、なんか毎日違うことが起こったりとか、毎日なんかもう浮き沈みがすごい出来事があると、もうほのぼの系に行っちゃいますよね。だから、いいよさんは疲れてるんだと思います。そんないいよさんに、私からのアドバイスなんですけど、ハラハラ系を楽しむ方法としては、私は、最終話を最初に見ちゃうんですよ。ほんと良くないんですけど、映画とかだったら、例えば、もうなんか、30分あたりでキャラクターがすごいもう苦しんで紆余曲折してるとするじゃないですか。もう、最後のとこだけ見て、笑顔かどうかだけ見て、あ、救われるってなって、また戻って、苦しんでる姿を見ながらも、大丈夫、もう少しでなんかあるはずみたいな、なんか、救いが絶対あるっていう気持ちを持ちながら見てますね。じゃないともう、疲れちゃう。はい。でも全然まだハラハラ系も大好きなんですけど、最近はやっぱりちょっと、ほのぼの系にね、私もちょっと行っちゃいがちではあります。ギャグ漫画とか。やっぱ、ギャグ要素って大切だと思います。ということで、いいよさん、ありがとうございます。それで言うと、銀玉は、私の一番大好きなアニメ、銀玉は、本当にバランスが素晴らしいです。もう、ハラハラ、心臓キューってなった後に、もうすぐギャグパート、解決してギャグパートのね、十何話始まるので、ぜひそういう方は銀玉を見てください。ということで、let's dive into today's episode. Today we are continuing with Yuri on Ice. This is the last episode where we are featuring Yuri on Ice. So let's dive into it. So Yuri on Ice is an original anime series created by Mitsuru Kubo and Saya Yamamoto,which started in October 2016. The story begins when world champion figure skater Victor suddenly appears before Yuri Katsuki, who was considering retirement after a major defeat, and offers to become his coach. While deepening their bond as student and coach, Yuri takes on various rivals and challenges the world, aiming for a gold medal in the Grand Prix final. In our last episode, we looked at Yurio's line expressing his determination and introduced ways to show strong will, as well as differences in sports culture between Japan and overseas. はい。Yuri on Ice 今週が最後でございます。Yuri on Ice is actually very still fresh in my memory. I can't believe it's been 10 years. The rink, I think, the rink that had a lot of collaborations with Yuri on Ice is actually close to where I used to live. 千駄ヶ谷と信濃町とかでしたっけ？なんかYuri on Ice結構なんかコラボしたと思うんですけど。Yeah, so when I first came to Japan, I brought my skating shoes, my figure skates. Yeah, I used to skate where they had a lot of collabs with Yuri on Ice. So it's very still fresh in my memory. I can't believe it's 10 years. 10 years is way too fast. 10年ですか？ほんと最近、10年って聞くと具合悪くなってくるんですよね。具合悪くなってきますね。Like, I literally feel sick to my stomach when I hear that an anime that is so fresh in my mind is 10 years old. That is so crazy. But anyway,Life is short, guys. Life is short, but it is also the longest thing we have. So you don't have to enjoy every second of it. It's too long. All right. Let's dive into today's phrase. Today's line is, it's actually from Victor. ビクトルのラインですね。他人のモチベーションを上げられない人間が自分のモチベーションを上げられるのかい？ So in English, if you don't have the strength to motivate someone who looks up to you,How can you find the strength to motivate yourself? So this line is from episode 5. Yuri is competing in a domestic tournament in Japan to qualify for the Grand Prix series. And also competing is Kenjiro Minami, a skater who looked up to Yuri at past competition. While Minami is cheering for Yuri, Yuri tries to ignore him to focus on his own performance. Seeing this, his coach Victor says this line to him.Hi. This is so hard. Cause I stand with Yuri, on competition day. I hated when people would talk to me, but I also hated when they didn't talk to me. So, yeah, I had a very love-hate relationship with the social gatherings. But, figure skating is it is a solo event or a solo sport. You are competing alone, but there is a bond between people that you train with. So during competitions that I was in, even if I never talked to people from my sports club or from my home rink, during competitions, if you see somebody from your home rink, you would cheer the loudest. There's this really unspoken bond you have between each other if you're from the same hometown. So I do understand where Victor is coming from, but I also do understand where Yuri is coming from because, you really need to focus on many things on competition day. But I'm glad, though, in this episode, Yuri ends up cheering for Minami later, like, ganbare! And, yeah, that kind of leads to Minami feeling a lot better about his performance as well. So, big round of applause to Yuri. はい。ということで、let's look at the vocab. 今回のセリフを深掘りしていきましょう。So, if you don't have so-and-so, how can you so-and-so? So, 〇〇がないなら、どうやって〇〇できるの？だから他人のモチベーションを上げられない人間が自分のモチベーションをどうやって上げられるんだいの感じで。If you don't have, so for instance, if you don't have money, how can you come to Japan? Then if you're, planning on buying many anime merch in Japan, like, how are you going to buy this anime merch if you don't have money? Like, that's how you would use it. If you don't have, let's say, if you don't have an alarm clock, how can you wake up in the morning? Or if you don't have a chimney, how can you let Santa Claus come into your house? I forget that this episode is on January. Talking about Santa Claus in January. Sorry, guys. Today is December 10th for me. Okay, Santa Claus is still not a thing yet for me. So, please bear with me. はい。please bear with me っていうのは、ちょっとすいませんね。私についてきてくださいっていう、感じで使うフレーズです。please bear with me。皆さんも、これちょっと、オタク口調で私語りがちなんですけど、早口でドゥルルルって。で、皆さんももしかしたらそうかもしれないんですけど、そういった時に、みんなを置いてっちゃった後に、ちょっと待ってくださいみたいな感じで、もうちょっと付き合ってくださいみたいな時に、please bear with me って言うんです。ちょっと私と付き合ってくださいみたいな感じで、使ってくださいね。ちょっとシリーズと関係ないんですけど。はい。です。Now let's look at the next, phrase.Have the strength to so and so. So, 〇〇するだけの強さ、〇〇するだけの気力、〇〇するだけの勇気。まあだから、if you don't have the strength to motivate someone who looks up to you, how can you find the strength to motivate yourself? Have the strength to. だから、〇〇する強さ。相手に、誰々にできないならなぜ自分でできると思うんだいのことなので、どうやって使うかな他だったら。How can you have the strength to... well, speaking from an idol's perspective, a lot of the times they'd be like, if you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? You know? So if you don't have the strength to love yourself, how can you have the strength to give love to somebody? みたいな。感じですね。strength を使わなくても大丈夫です。how can you, でも使わないとダメな。have the strength to, strength のとこに逆に違う言葉を入れることもできますね。how can you have the motivation to とか、or how can you have the time to とか、なんか、するだけの〇〇だから、have the 〇〇 to がするだけの〇〇なので、その強さのところに今回は strength が入ってるんですけど、強さのところにモチベーションとか優しさとか、するだけのモチベーション、するだけの強さ、するだけのなんか優しさとか何でも入れられますね。はい。And next is look up to. So look up to は尊敬するとか憧れるなんですけど、look up to は本当、like literally you're looking up to somebody physically because you think higher of them. So that's why we say look up to. 尊敬する人のことを本当、目上の人だと思ってるから、直訳すると本当、見上げる人っていう意味が憧れの人っていう意味でもありますね。So, let's say I look up to the senior voice actor. I look up to so-and-so, you know, just say whoever you look up to. Just add that person. I hope you guys look up to me. Please don't, actually. Don't take anything from me, guys. Please think of us as equals. Please do not look up to me. That is too much pressure. Too much on my shoulders.Too much on my shoulders っていうのは、肩の荷が重すぎる。これ英語も日本語も一緒なんですね。肩の荷が重いって。too much on my shoulders. I have too much on my shoulders. か、あと、今ちょっと忙しすぎるとかの時は、I have too much on my plate. ちょっとお皿の上に私ちょっと今、お皿の上がいっぱいいっぱいなんだっていう直訳なんですけど、So I have too much on my plate. なので、仕事とかなんか任されそうになった時にこの資料とかできるって言われたら Oh, sorry, I have too much on my plate right now. みたいな。ちょっとお皿にいろんなもの乗りすぎてます。みたいな。本当ビュッフェみたいな気持ちの比喩表現ですね。I have too much on my plate って使ってみてください。はい。Now looking at the pronunciation, let's look at today's phrase again. 他人のモチベーションを上げられない人間が自分のモチベーションを上げられるのかい？So in English, if you don't have the strength to motivate someone who looks up to you, how can you find the strength to motivate yourself? Again, if you don't have the strength to motivate someone who looks up to you, how can you find the strength to motivate yourself? Hi. So pronunciation, strength. Gosh, strength? So hard. Strength. How can you have the strength? グツはグフ、ちょっとなんか、グフって感じ。なんかもう、ほんと、グフ。ちょっと目の前に可愛い女の子のフィギュアとかアクスタを立ててみてください。その時にグフみたいな感じになった時の、喉の使い方が G、strength strength。最初、グフから始めてください。strength。strength から、strength で、その後、舌を歯で噛む。はい。bite your tongue while you say it. strength。はい。strength。ですね。strength。グフ。もう皆さんできてるはずです、グフは。だからそこからはもうあとは舌を噛むだけ。strength。はい。and motivate. Motivate also, instead of pronouncing the T literally like motivate, I would say pronounce it more like a D, like motivate. I'm gonna motivate you, motivate yourself. So change the T in your head to a D, motivate. And then you'll sound a bit more fluent. ですね。はい。
アニメイングリッシュクラブ with サリー・アマキ。
We talked a lot, I would like to go to the cultural context, except for we talked a lot about the cultural context. So I would say I want to just talk about figure skating in general, looking at this series. So let's see. 何が起こりましたっけ？この Episode 1 even. Victor comes into Yuri's house and calls Yuri a little piggy. Coaches actually do that. They do. I don't know how many times I've been told that I need to lose weight. Yeah, so that was very realistic. Yeah, so whenever you would have a slump in your career and you're not able to jump certain jumps that you used to, the first thing coaches would ask you is, have you gained weight? Yeah, so weight is very important in figure skating as well, I guess. But I guess when Victor says that the skater's heart is as fragile as glass, ガラスのように脆い、メンタル。本当にそうなんですよ。Everything matters the day of the competition. 本当に、なんて言うんですかね。I remember, how Victor doesn't allow Yuri to watch other skaters' performances or even hear the announcements. My coach would also not allow me to watch the performances. Just because if somebody before me did a perfect routine, I would just crumble. Like, I'd be like, okay, wow, I lost. All right, goodbye. So, but I would also remember whenever somebody messes up, other girls from my home team would come to the backyard where I'm from, and they'd come running to me, be like, hey, the girl that was before you, she messed up on 2 jumps, so it's fine. You're gonna do well. Like, like we'd see who would mess up to like motivate each other and tell each other that it's okay to mess up. Yeah. So that was very realistic as well. The skaters, when they were going out to dinner with one another, before the competition, a lot of the times people think that the figure skating world is really competitive and like nobody is friends with anybody. That is a big lie. The skaters are basically best friends with one another because they're the only ones that can understand the hardships that they're all going through. So I remember before competitions, I would also go to dinner or lunch with my fellow competitors as well. So yeah, it really brought back memories. And also, Yuri on Ice, they didn't really show it, but a lot of the skaters in my hometown, they would meditate before going on ice. Like we would all do a group yoga session and be like namaste and everything. And also, When I first became an idol, I announced that I had social anxiety, and that was the reason I couldn't do handshake events. Like I just couldn't stand in front of people and talk to people that much. This social anxiety came from figure skating. Yes, I've also announced this as well. But yeah, figure skating gave me so much social anxiety. It taught me many things as well. It has taught me strength, but it also did take away some strength from me that I had as well. So it is very mentally draining, but I think it's only mentally draining. It was mentally draining to me because I wasn't that good. Like I knew I wasn't that good. So going into competition, there was no confidence that I can have because I knew I was going to mess up. So majority of the problem did come from me. I still chose to go into competition even though I knew I was going to mess up. But yeah, it is a very, very hard sport. So in the last episode, I know Yuri was like, hey, I want to continue one more year. I'm like, do you really? Really? After all you went through this year, you want to continue again? But yeah, he is very strong. Yuri is very strong. Yes. And I am still waiting on that movie. I know they canceled it, but I'm still waiting. Hi. All right. So that's it for this episode of the Anime English Club. I cannot stress this enough. Yuri on Ice is such an amazing show. If you haven't watched it yet, please do. It is so good. You have my words. はい。You have my words っていうフレーズはですね、私の言葉を信じてっていう感じのもう、私の言葉を取って、もう、サリーが言ってたよって言っていいよみたいな、私の名前使っていいよみたいなぐらい、ほんと信用してみたいな時に、take my words for it みたいな感じで、please take my word for it みたいな感じに使ってください。はい。And that is it for this week's Anime English Club. In the next episode, we are going to talk about K-On! Or K-On! Hi! The anime series that made me buy a guitar, even though I couldn't play any instruments. Alright, well, we're going to talk about that next week. You can listen to Anime English Club as a podcast and on YouTube, where you can follow along with transcripts and subtitles. You can adjust the speed however you want and listen as many times as you need to get comfortable with English. Listening over and over is really the key to mastering any language. For Japanese and English subtitles, go to youtube.com/anime-english-club or just search by the title. And the Anime English Club wants to hear from you. Please let us know any anime you'd like us to cover, or for specific lines, please tell us whose line it is and which episode it's from as well. Or just any general English questions. We are waiting to hear from you. So please email us at aec@1242.com. That is aec@1242.com. You can email me in either Japanese or English. メールは日本語でも英語でも大丈夫です。本当に本当にユーリオンアイスめちゃくちゃ面白いので、皆さん何を思いとどまってるのかわからないです。まだ見てない方。もう12話だからね。私昨日の夕方から見て、全然早めの夜にはもう見終わってたので、見てください。お願いします。ということで、See you next week on the episode about K-On! Bye! From the Nippon Hoso podcast station, this is the Anime English Club, hosted by me, Sao Yamaki. This episode was written by Naoki Nakamura, edited by Naoki Yamazaki, directed by Hiroshi Kochi, all from Waltz Inc. Our executive producer is Shiori Tanaka for Nippon Broadcasting System Japan.